401ks are not okay? Well, one union leader says they're way too risky for workers. One of her solutions, letting all workers join state-run pension plans. But with states already worrying about bailing out underfunded pensions, is that retirement plan way too risky for taxpayers? Well, hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Casoni, and welcome to Cash It In. Our Cash It In crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Hoenig, Tracy Burns, and John Layfield. Also joining us this week, Fox News contributor Sally Kohn. So welcome to all of you. All right, Jonathan, 401ks bad, state pensions good?
Well, it's the state pensions that are incredibly risky, Cheryl. I mean, 31 states already have schemes like this. They're 80% underfunded. You don't think there's going to be a taxpayer bailout? Of course there is. But, more than just risky, this SEIU official's comment is insulting. I mean, it's basically saying that, no, freedom doesn't work. People are smart enough to make money, but too big of an idiots to actually know what to do with it. No. They need government to do their thinking for them. And I tell you, she talks about the promise of guaranteed retirement income. I'll tell you what's guaranteed with these state-run programs: bankruptcy and enslavement. But that's the cradle-to-grave entitlement program the left just loves.
All right, Tracy, this is her opinion. Is she right?
No, because you can pretty much guarantee you're not going to have any money at retirement if you allow your state to invest your retirement funds. Look, we see what's happening with Social Security. You put government in charge of anything, and it just seems to miraculously disappear into space or go towards $7 muffins somewhere at some conference somewhere. We've been talking about this for years on the show. States can't manage money properly. Why would I want my retirement money with them?
All right, Sally, if you look at pension plans, there's been a lot of bailouts of pension plans. 4,295 pension plans have been taken over by the government. Are they really the best way to go?
Well, look, what this SEIU official is saying, in essence, is that we've taken retirement security, which is part of the way we prevent senior citizens from being poor. And I will quibble at the fact that Social Security has done a darn good job of keeping people from being poor in our country when they're older. So it worked in that sense.
But not working anymore.
And saying that, look, instead of saying, let's give all that money that people have saved for retirement and giving it to the banks so that they can turn a profit, and if the banks fail, then people lose their retirement. Instead saying, let's have professional money managers manage that retirement security. I think that's a good idea, and it's a good idea for people to have secure...
But Wayne Rogers, look, back in the day, this is what you did. This is what people did. You had your pension plan, your savings, a little Social Security money, but that doesn't seem to financially work anymore, Wayne.
Well, I love Sally's remark about the banks. The professional money people are going to, those are the same people that are running the state pension plans. Sally, for goodness sake, they can't even pass a budget, much less meet one. The government has a historical, you have to ignore all of the statistics in the world to say that that's a better idea. Of course they run a terrible Oh, no, they don't. The government doesn't run anything well. We've got more states and more municipalities bankrupt today and underfunded pension plans. And individuals should have the right, whether they make that decision wrong or not, for their own purpose. If they, like Jonathan says, if you have the freedom to make that decision, it's your money. It's not theirs.
Right.
John Layfield?
Look, Social Security has eradicated elderly poverty. That is absolutely true. But the problem is, in the late 1960s, Lyndon Johnson and his Congress said, quote, there is so much money there, we will never spend it. So they started writing IOUs. It is now bankrupt. The reason that it eradicates poverty in the elderly is now because it has become a Ponzi scheme. It is a pay-as-you-go scheme. The municipal pensions right now, they are not being funded. Period.
Right.
You have politicians who are saying we can fund these pensions or we can spend more money getting reelected. They are stealing this money out of municipal pensions, and that is the problem here that is going forward. They're all bankrupt.
And Cher, Jonathan made the point earlier. You know what's going to happen? They're going to come back to the federal government for bailouts. So you're going to be bailing out. Not only are you bailing out states, you're going to be bailing out pension funds. We're just going to be bailing out the whole darn world.
Or they're going to come back to the government for food stamps and for higher Medicare because they don't have enough money because they've lost. Look, people
Sally,
lost.
But they save it.
I'm sorry, but you want to talk about schemes. This is a scheme for the banking industry to say, let's privatize Social Security, let's privatize pensions, let's privatize everything we can.
But you're talking about...
Hold on a second. Jonathan, was one thing I want to bring up to your point here, Jonathan. I want to bring up this up. Between 96, 2010, we're beating up on 401ks here. The average account balance of 62%. 401ks do work. Private 401ks, giving the investor, and this is your thing, thing, I know, giving people a choice on what to do with their money.
Right. I mean,
not having it be
freedom works, Cheryl. It's not 401k. It's individual freedom. Economic freedom works. And I mean, I have to just shake my head. It's almost like, Sally believes that you're smart enough to know who to vote for, but too much of an idiot to know that if you don't want to take a little risk to put your money in a safe place. But you're basically saying that people. You're basically saying that people can't make their own decisions about their own money,
aka their own life. People should have the choice if they want to say no. This is about choice too. You're trying to foreclose the choice with them saying, I'd rather have the government manage it collectively in a group way where there's a professional money manager. You're foreclosing that choice.
Yeah, but you guys are really forgetting what Wayne just said. What Wayne just exactly explained was the fact that they're the same money managers. It's great to say, oh, we're doing this for the evil banks. This has nothing, zero to do with the banks. Zero. Yeah. These are the same money managers, the same funds, the same everything. It's whether it is funded by the municipalities, which it is not being done, or if the person has the right to put it in themselves.
Wayne Rogers, Wayne, really quick to you. I mean, again, these comments coming out of someone that runs a union in California, fair enough. But at the same time, the concern here is that if you let these private workers onto these state-run pensions, that you're not going to have just an economic disaster, but you're going to have a taxpayer disaster on your hands. You think that's possible?
Well, of course it's possible. It's not only possible, it's already been proven to be highly probable. You know that you have to understand that this comes from a tax deferment. We put money into a retirement plan. That money earns money on a tax-deferred basis. When you realize that is when you get out of that plan and you have to pay the tax on that. Now, that's fair. Everybody is subject to that. But if you can't turn it over to the state and let them invest it, as Jonathan says, this is the same group of people who've stolen your money in the past. Why do they want to do that?
Right. And the next step is exactly what happened in Argentina in 2008 when the government takes over the pension plans. Why? To protect the workers. Now they're nationalizing companies. That's the slippery slope.
Okay, so fair enough, John Layfield, that we do have ideas, possibilities here. But at the same time, are we going to be Argentina, as Jonathan Hoenig just pointed out?
Well, we're looking at falling off a cliff at some point. Look, according to Obama's budget, President Obama, according to Governor Romney's budget, Paul Ryan's budget, we're looking at $20 trillion in debt by the year 2020. If interest rates go to 5-6%, we're looking at half of our budget right now paying interest rates. Yes, the answer is we are going to fall off a cliff at some point. What we are doing is unsustainable, and these municipalities are not funding these pensions. So 10 years from now, when workers get done working, there's not going to be money there for them, period. It doesn't matter where you invest it. They're not putting the money in.
And Cheryl, I just hate this notion that we are too dumb to do this ourselves. First of all, my retirement is my responsibility. I should be saving for it. Not you, not the government, not the taxpayer. Nobody. So you know what? How about we talk about financial education a little bit more? How about we talk about teaching people to manage their own money as opposed to relying on the boneheads that we know that can't do it, Sal?
Sally Kohn, I do want to give you the last word here. This is about free choice at the end of the day. Are people not smart enough to make their own choices?
That's not the issue. They're also smart enough to be able to say, look, we have a lot going on in our lives, and we'd like to have a professional money manager who looks at it together. And look, just because something just because something doesn't work in the second worst recession in our country's history doesn't mean it doesn't work. And millions of Americans are grateful for their pensions, public sector and private sector, that provided them a guaranteed retirement security, as opposed to saying, here it is, you're on your own. That's what we're going to say to millions of seniors. It hasn't worked.
We can keep going, guys, but we can't because we're going to take a commercial.